Did you know humans have been eating pancakes since the Stone Age? Imagine being the first cook coming back to your village with pancakes topped with maple syrup and butter. Or better yet, a bourbon berry sauce that you just forage throughout the forest. Today we'll be tapping into those primal instincts, making pancakes. If you enjoy food or are curious about learning how to make food, consider subscribing to my channel by clicking the red subscribe button below this video. To start, you'll need a mixing bowl, 1.5 cups of flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and a little pinch of salt. Combine until it's all nice and uniform. Next, grab another bowl, pour 1 1/4 cups of milk, crack an egg into it, throw the eggshell away, add 4 tablespoons of melted butter, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now whip it up, whip it good, whip it just like you should. And yes, that's my whipping face. I'm gonna add this to our flour by first creating a well, pouring it in, and lightly folding it on top of each other. You want to keep doing this until all of the large clumps are gone. If you still notice little clumps, don't worry about it. You want to avoid overworking the batter because it's going to make your pancakes not as fluffy. And we want our cakes to be as fluffy as that comedian, Gabriel Iglesias. Now let's make that bourbon berry sauce. Get a pan started by heating it on medium to medium low heat and add 2 tablespoons of butter. Once it's all melted, we're going to want to add 1/4 cup of sugar. If you have brown sugar, that would be ideal, but I just had normal cane sugar, so that's what I used. Now heat this for around a minute until you start to notice that the sugar is melting. Now add your bourbon, add your vanilla extract, and smell the amazingness. Keep moving this around until your sugar is all dissolved, and then add your berries. These were freshly foraged and slightly defrosted from my freezer, so I turned the heat up to medium high and allowed for that extra liquid to dissolve. Add a pinch of salt, the zest of 1 lemon, and the juice of half of it. This will cut the sweetness from the sauce, so if you want your sauce to be sweeter, only add a tablespoon. As it's reducing, do a quick sniff test because it's going to smell amazing. Add 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, mix it all in, and then keep an eye on your sauce as it reduces. Stir it frequently to avoid it from burning. You know your sauce is done when you start stirring it around, and it takes a while for it to fully cover the whole pan again. When it looks something like this, set it aside. Now it's time to fry up our pancakes. Heat up your skillet at medium heat, melt some butter, and then pour your batter with a ladle. You want to cook your pancakes until you start to see air bubbles popping up from the bottom and it's not sticking to the bottom of the pan anymore. Once you reach that point, flip them over and cook until it's not doughy anymore. Call me crazy, but I like my pancakes a little crunchy. Now add your berry sauce or maple syrup and start to dig in. I hope you enjoyed this episode of making pancakes the Masar way. Feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to check out what's coming next. See you next time.